Huge thank you, first of all, to the JLC for letting us have the Siyum over here. Very grateful for them. If anyone is makbid on national hashkachas, there are some items that have national hashkachas. Some of the items in the back are locally produced. So if anyone has any questions afterwards, I'll direct you. For the people that were with us for the first Siyum Hashas, welcome back. For those who are here for the first time, welcome. Huge coverage for me, for anyone taking time, thank you, taking time out of their day to come and join us here. What's fascinating is the concept of a Siyum in of itself is, it's a nice idea, but where does it come from? Is we see that in the Hadron lists all the sons of Rav Papa. And the reason is because whenever any of the sons of Rav Papa would make a Siyum, would finish a Masechta, he'd make a big celebration for them. But again, where does this idea come from? The Gemara in Shabbos tells us that Amar Abaye, Teiseli, hold on one second. Rabbi Tzurba Merabanan, the Shlim Masechta, Avidna Yuma Tavela Rabbanan. So, thank you so much. So Abaye, anytime someone would finish a Masechta, Abaye would go and have a celebration for the Rabbanan. So Rashi says, Avidna Yuma Tavela Rabbanan, the Talmidim, Rosh Yeshiva Haya. That Abaye, who is the Rosh HaYeshiva, would throw a celebration for anyone who would finish a Masechta. Okay, so therefore what? So the easiest way to explain this concept, Pasha, is that it was a motivating factor for all the other individuals in the yeshiva. Abaye would throw Ki'ilu in corporate America, you'd have a pizza party to celebrate something. So Abaye would do that for everyone else. My first attendance of a Siyum Hashas that someone else threw was my first year in Eretz Yisrael. Hanina Weinberg said he made a Siyum, and I said, I want to do that. So one level, it could very well be that that's what Abaye's thinking was. It's a motivator for the other individuals that are sitting there. I don't think that that's pashtus, or that could be pashtus, but I don't think that's the real reason. Because it's a missed opportunity that Abaye had. If Abaye was the Rosh HaYeshiva, and he understood that there were other people around, why not open up the Siyum to everyone in the community? Invite everyone. Why just the Bnei HaYeshiva? Anyone from the yeshiva. It seems to be that if you want to impress upon people the Chashivas HaTorah, the importance of learning, so then invite everyone in the surrounding area and let them come. But I think that the reason is they would lose it. That a person who comes to a Siyum gets lost in the fanfare around it. They see food, they see things, they see stuff, but they don't understand what an actual Siyum on a Masechta is. And to do a Siyum, as anyone who has ever slogged through a Masechta, regardless of how long the Masechta is, it's an incredibly difficult thing to do. A person goes through a Masechta, they get lost. Did I do the stuff already? Did I not do the stuff? I have to put markers. What's Rashi saying? I don't know what's going on over here. So a person who goes through a Masechta understands how incredibly difficult it is. And so what Abaye was doing is he was saying that these are the individuals who will appreciate what their contemporary has gone through. Because anyone else will come and say, oh, pizza. But for a person who has seen what their contemporary goes through, they understand that he really, really worked hard on this. And I can celebrate his achievement because I know how difficult it is for this individual to have done this. So he really can get into his fellow's celebration. There's an incredible Gemara that tells us that Rabbi Akiva one time was swept out at sea. And he grabbed onto a daf. So a daf translates into a plank or a piece of wood. This was the source of the Rav Meir Shapira deciding that there should be a daf yomi, because a person can grab onto a daf and that will lead them to safety. But what's interesting about this idea is that Eitz Chaim hi l'machazikim ba. That the notion technical difficulties. The notion of something being Eitz Chaim hi is only l'machazikim ba. That a person who holds on to something loosely isn't going to get anywhere. So much so that we know that when Klal Yisrael were in the Midbar, it says that they got to Refidim, and Chazal tell us that Refidim means Rafu Yadayim Min HaTorah. They weren't holding on so strongly. And when they weren't holding on so strongly, that's when Amalek came. The concept of holding on to Torah becomes a machazikim, it grounds a person. It directs them. It gives them a source of chiyus. Because the Gemara tells us, Hachash barosho yasik b'Torah. If a person has a headache, he should learn Torah. Not because there's some sort of healing component to learning over a Torah. But when a person sits over a piece of Gemara and they work hard to understand what's going on, they sublimate the pain. They don't have time for pain in their head anymore because they're focused on the Gemara, because they're holding on very strongly. The component of learning and committing to the learning, to be a person who's Eitz Chaim, la machazikim ba. If a person does it half-heartedly, they're not committed to it, there's no results. Nothing gets accomplished. I'm not here to tell anyone that they have to do the daf. I'm not telling anyone that they have to make a siyum on anything. That's not my place. What I am saying is that it's possible. Baruch Hashem, this is the second time we've gathered together to make a Siyum HaShas. It's an incredible schos for me. It's an incredible honor that anyone has taken their time to come and join me in this celebration. People flew in. I'm mind-boggled. It's incredible. But the concept of making a Siyum is done when a person commits. A person says, I'm going to do this, and I can do it. And those are the people that can really understand exactly what goes on when someone else makes a siyum. Because in all truth, it's very beautiful to come and celebrate when someone else makes a siyum. But when a person makes the siyum, and someone else joins in that siyum, and they say, I can do that. I can be messiahing something. I can learn. I can be a person who's machazikim, but I can hold on to it with commitment. Those people are the ones that can really be zocha to enjoy and see other people's simchas and other people's siyumim. And we should all be zocha to have and see many more siyumim. Again, thank you. There are no words. There are no words to thank everyone. What's very important to me is to thank my parents. Obviously, parents play a crucial role. But one of the most important things for my parents was that I should have a commitment to learning, but not only a commitment to learning, nothing made my mother prouder than when I get up to make a siyum. Any mesechta that I get up and I make a siyum, my mother is the first person, how can I contribute? Nothing makes my parents prouder, and that commitment to be mitzaref in the simcha is something that it's been with me for years, and every time there's a push, you have to do more. You have to do more. And there are no words to express the gratitude to my parents for guiding me and the instilling within me the understanding that a siyum is an integral thing, that the limud Torah is not something that can be done on occasion once a day. It has to be done b'kfiyas. And without HaKadosh Baruch Hu giving me the koach to do this, I never could have done it. People ask how I did it, I don't know. But it requires commitment. As the old Chinese proverb saying, the 1,000-mile journey with a single step begins. A person can look and say, it's too much. It really is a lot. But at the end of the day, it's one daf, and then another daf, and then another daf, and then that mesechta is finished. And a person who commits to that is a person who at the end of the day will be able to make their own siyum. Hopefully, others will feel comfortable seeing that if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I'd like to thank everyone again for coming. And now we'll make the hadran. Everyone can make a mizonos in the back. Again, thank you so much.